Now let me just show you something that really goes to the heart of how African Americans in this country, descendants of slaves, are getting played. Lord have mercy. Joy Reid. Joy Reid went on TV and said her parents come from an S-hole country, and how dare you, Trump, say such a thing about my people and my family. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Now, she said that, and there was something very interesting about what she said. And I don't even think she understands what she revealed about who she is. Joy Reid comes, she said her mother is from British Guyana, her father's from the Congo. She has one parent who's a college professor and another parent who is a geologist. And you say to me, well, Yvette, what does that mean? It means that she didn't get impacted by the stuff that impacts African Americans in this country. She didn't get impacted by mass incarceration. She ain't got no daddy who got locked up for years, and so she didn't have no daddy, and so the mama got evicted or something like that. She don't have any of the stuff that impacted us, and you want to understand or wonder why she's the only one left besides the straight reporter Craig, what's his name, Melvin or whatever. But in terms of pundits, she's the only one left at MSNBC, and that's why, because she ain't got none of the baggage of African Americanness. And she said, well, I was born in Brooklyn. No. You're second generation. You listen, your parents have none of the baggage of what it means to be African American in this country, and neither do you in terms of systemic racism. Your parents may have well have been white people in terms of what they did and where they come from and their mindset, and that's why MSNBC kept you. That's why they kept you. But you gonna get on there because I happen to. Sometimes I turn on MSNBC just to see which way the propaganda is blowing, and so I happened to turn on NBC. I saw her whimpering and whining about her parents, and something just occurred to me. It occurred to me. Things occurred to me. And I said, I thought about it. What is Joy Reid? She said, we're all African. We're all migrants. So first of all, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to call African Americans migrants and immigrants so that you, Joy Reid, and every other person who is affiliated with immigrants can sort of capitalize on the political capital of African Americans. You're trying to put us all in the same category so that you can capitalize on it. The same thing Senator Durbin did when he tried to say black people are offended when you say chain immigration because they came from chains. I ain't offended. I'm a citizen. My people is citizens, and not only citizens from first generation, from second, third, fourth. So I'm not offended. I understand what chain immigration means, and who is Durbin to speak for me, and who is Joy Reid to speak for me. But I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to make us immigrants so that you can use our political capital right now to get more brown votes into the Democratic Party to vote for Democrats. I understand the con. I understand the game. But even if I just wish more of my people understood the game. But let's go back to that turn. Let's go back to that traitor Joy Reid. She's real slick with it. So she comes in and she talks about how we're all Africans and we all have to stand together because we all come from Africans. We Africans and we have to stand together because African. Notice that American appears nowhere in that statement. So one of the things I think about, and I say Joy Reid wants all of us to stand with immigrants around the world. So has Joy Reid always stood with African Americans? And I think back to her time at MSNBC, and I think back to something. I think back to Melissa Harris Perry. It occurs to me, Melissa Harris Perry, was summarily ousted from MSNBC, as all the Negro whisperers, who I said they would be ousted. Nobody listens. Well, some of y'all listen, but I said after these are interpreters for Obama, and they will be removed. So everybody from Torrey to Al Sharpton is gone because you were only there for Obama. But understand that when Melissa Harris Perry and all these people from MSNBC removed, Joy Reid ain't say nothing. Not only did she not say nothing, she took over. I remember watching. Joy Reid took over Melissa Harris Perry's slot almost immediately. There was something that Melissa Harris Perry was supposed to cover that evening. And I remember Joy Reid was like, I'm there. I'll be there. And they were like, Joy Reid will be covering blah, 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 election or whatever. She didn't skip a beat. She didn't come on her show and say, I stand with and all this stuff. She did not skip a beat. Hold on. So you don't want to stand with African Americans when they all get ousted. You just want to be the last black woman standing at MSNBC, don't you? Because you're a scavenger. And we should have called you a scavenger a long time ago. Just the same way that you used to hate Hillary Clinton when Hillary Clinton was versus Obama, but now you love her. You have no morals. You have no principles. You are nothing that we should be. And now you are the person who speaks for black people at MSNBC, even though you were the person who never stood up for black people before that. You speak for us as someone who does not represent us in any way, shape, or form. Understand that this is serious business, black people.